Hello everyone and welcome back to Akademixx Global. In today's video, we are going to take a look at UpToDate Expert AI, a new AI-powered feature within UpToDate. Rather than simply searching for individual clinical topics, Expert AI allows you to ask a clinical question in natural language and interact with the response. For this tutorial, I'm going to use one clinical case and show you how Expert AI processes the question, clarifies assumptions, and allows you to refine the clinical scenario before generating the final answer. Let's begin. For our demonstration, I'm going to ask a 68-year-old patient presents with new-onset atrial fibrillation. He has hypertension and chronic kidney disease. What factors should be considered when deciding on anticoagulation? Now let's submit the question. And this is the first response from Expert AI. Let's look at what Expert AI has done. It starts by restating the clinical question. You are asking what factors to consider when deciding on anticoagulation for a 68-year-old man with new-onset atrial fibrillation, hypertension, and chronic kidney disease. This is useful because it confirms that the system has understood the questions we entered. But there is something even more interesting. Expert AI then states, I'm assuming this is non-valvular atrial fibrillation and there is no absolute contraindication to anticoagulation. This is an important part of the Expert AI workflow. The original question did not specify all of these details. So instead of silently making assumption, Expert AI explicitly tells us what it is assuming. For example, it is assuming non-valvular atrial fibrillation and there is no absolute contraindication to anticoagulation. This gives the user an opportunity to review those assumptions before proceeding. And now we come to particularly interesting part. Expert AI says, is there anything to add or change? Like patient has a mechanical heart valve or rheumatic mitral stenosis, or patient is on dialysis or has eGFR less than 30 ml per minute, and patient has prior major bleeding or frequent falls. Patient has poorly controlled hypertension, or patient has very low atrial fibrillation burden or reversible trigger. This is particularly useful for clinical scenarios because additional patient information can significantly change the relevance of a recommendation. Let's assume there is no additional information to add. We can simply continue with assumptions as presented. Alternatively, we could provide additional clinical information if it were available. The purpose here is to demonstrate that we can refine the clinical scenario before moving forward. This clarification step is particularly important when using AI for clinical questions. A short clinical question can leave many important details unspecified. Instead of immediately generating a long answer based on potentially incorrect assumptions, Expert AI makes some of those assumptions visible to the user. This allows the healthcare professionals to ask, are these assumptions correct? Is there anything important missing? And should I add or more clinical information? Once the clinical scenario is confirmed, Expert AI can proceed with the response. Now we can review the information relevant to anticoagulation in this patient. At this stage, pay attention not only to recommendation itself but also the supporting clinical information and sources provided by Expert AI. One of the most important things when using any AI-based clinical tool is understanding where the information comes from. Expert AI is designed around the up-to-date clinical content. So after reviewing the AI-generated response, we can explore the underlying up-to-date information and examine the relevant clinical topic in greater detail. This creates a useful workflow from clinical question to AI clarification, then refine the scenario, then clinical response, and then review supporting information. So what is particularly interesting about the demonstration? It is not simply that Expert AI can answer a clinical question. The system first tries to understand the question, identifies assumption, and gives us an opportunity to add or change information. That is especially relevant in medicine because clinical decisions depend heavily on patient-specific factors. And that's a quick demonstration of how UpToDate Expert AI approaches a clinical question. In this example, we saw how it understands the clinical question, states its assumptions, and asks whether anything should be added or changed, and then allows the clinical scenario to be defined before proceeding. If you find this tutorial helpful, useful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Akademixx Global, and turn on the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.